So for today's demo and sample, I'm going to show you how to make one of these little guys here. So this is an earring ear wire wrapper. So first let me tell you how I made it. I took an old handle from an old tool and I cut it just a little bit shorter so I didn't have to deal with any of this. Then I drilled out a hole that was slightly smaller than one of these. This is just an extension for a drill. Then I cut it short this way with my saw, and then I cleaned it up so that it was smooth and flat and didn't have any sharp bits. Now I chose this because it's the right dimension that I want for my ear wires. This is the ear wire that I'm going to show you how to make. Once I had that done, before I inserted it, I took a nail, which looked just like this. It just has the head cut off, and again I've removed the little burr on the edge there. And I took a corresponding drill hole and I've put 3 of them in a line here so that it goes towards the center. And the reason I did that was so that I could change the size of my ear wires just by putting this pin in different locations. So for this demo, I'm going to show you how to do a tied sample. So normally you take a mandrel or you use your round nose pliers. In this case, I'm going to use a mandrel, and I'm just going to wrap this around until it overlaps, just like I would normally. And because these are going to be tied ear wires, I'm going to put my earring on there, and then I'm going to hold it at the front, and I'm just going to wrap the wire around, making sure that the tail faces towards the back. Cut the little bit of tail off, and I'm just going to tuck it in. Now, depending on the type of wire that you're doing, or the ear wire that you're doing, it is slightly different. And I'm just going to straighten it. So once I've done that, I'm going to slide the earring up to the top, slide it on there like that, and then I wrap it around the mandrel and then cross it over. Once it's crossed over, I'm going to do a little bend out, and I'm pulling it pretty tight as I do this. And then when I pop it off of here, it's going to open up to be the exact length that I want, and then I'll cut this off. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same thing, and you can see that these, and I'll show you how to do this one. So again, I'm going to use a mandrel, and I'm just going to wrap it around till it crosses like that. In this case, because I'm doing one of these open ones, and I don't normally do these ones because I don't like them, but I just cut it off so that it's in the right location. And because I'm using the same mandrel as the one that's in here, it will just slide on like that. Oh, but I should check and see. I'm going to put this one in a bit closer. There. These might be different because I didn't use the same pinhole. Crisscross it till it touches, go over it. Once it's over, kick it off in the other direction, and then open it up. So these ones are rounder as you get closer to the middle. And then you just cut that off. So there's a very round one. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when I do the other piece. So again, where they overlap, I'm going to cut them, and notice I'm using the flat end, and that makes that flatter. I could also clean that up. This time I'm going to move it to the outside. Slide this on like so, wrap it around, pulling it tight, cross it over, bend it back. And you can see how I'm getting a slightly longer wire, just like that. So these two here, this is long, medium. These two look like they're actually from the same one, so I should be able to put those on top of each other, and they should be very, very close to being a match. The only difference here is one tail is longer than the other, so I just trim those down to match. And then I have a matched set of earrings. So these are very easy to make. The other thing is I put a little bevel along here. If I wanted longer wires, then it would be better to use a longer piece of material and then you know, have the pins go this way so that you could make different length ear wires. But it's quite easy to make. Probably cost me, you know, 75 cents because this was reused, and this is just a nail. I hope everybody makes some wonderful earrings.